get this one. This is the all-new 2018 Ford Mustang. This particular one is in the GT trim, so it does have the bigger V8 engine, and we'll go over all of that right now. Here is that naturally aspirated 5-liter V8 engine. For 2018, they've actually increased the tune on this, so it is now 460 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. That is routed through either a 6-speed manual or a new 10-speed automatic. I actually picked this one out to have the new 10-speed automatic to show you what that new transmission is going to do in the Mustang. Now, I know that buyers of this vehicle aren't going to be too worried about fuel economy, but with that new 10-speed automatic, you get 19 combined, 16 in the city and 25 on the highway, which is actually really good for the amount of power that this vehicle has and as big of an engine that this has. And then kind of going over the design of this, it still has those little LED daytime running lights in the headlamp. The new headlamps, if you can see up close, look a lot different compared to the older ones. They kind of have this more narrow look to them, and they kind of have that metal around them that makes them look really nice in person, actually. And then you do have kind of this revised front grille that does look a bit more narrow compared to the other one, with that pretty aggressive front splitter on the bottom. And in videos and pictures, it doesn't look as good, but when you do see this in person, it looks a lot more aggressive, and I actually love the new look of this. And then you do get these kind of little like heat release looking things on the top of the hood that look really nice. But yeah, like I said, pictures and video don't really do this new design any justice, because it definitely does look a lot better in person. And then kind of sticking on the exterior, this does have the 19-inch wheels wrapped in those P0 tires with the massive brakes for the front and the rear that look amazing. And something else that I love about this one, in this white exterior colors, it does have this kind of like gloss sort of black on the roof with the wheels, so it kind of creates this really nice contrast overall in the car that I think looks amazing. Around to the back, you can see those signature LED taillights that when you do the turn signals, they kind of go in a row, which looks really neat. You do get a quad exhaust on this, and this doesn't have a lot of fuel left in it, but hopefully it'll remote start. Does have really nice verbal out of the exhaust, and we'll get some better clips of that. Opening up the trunk here, the actual entrance of the trunk isn't huge, but it does have quite a bit of trunk space. You do get these nice floor mats with it. You do get a fix-a-flat kit with this one, but yeah, it's got quite a bit of trunk space. The opening's not huge, but it's a big enough opening that you can get most things into this trunk, which is really nice. Okay, now come to the side. It still has the keyless entry, so just one touch to lock it, and then to unlock it, you just put your hand on the back and that'll unlock it. It does have those big coupe doors. You got this nice leather trim, the window controls. You got these like aluminum bits right here, the Mustang emblem, and you do get these really nicely bolstered seats that have the nice leather contrast stitching, power adjustments on the side of those seats and everything. And if we actually just flip this seat a little bit forward, we can see those rear seats, which I'll be honest, I'm not going to jump back there or anything. There's not a lot of head space, so these seats are a lot better for storage and all that. You could fit small children back here and everything, but because of the sloping kind of lines of this car and everything, there isn't a ton of headroom for those rear passengers. Now stepping in height's going to be really low. This being, a sports car and everything, and so it is a little bit more difficult to get into, but that's definitely rewarding because you are a bit close to the ground, which makes this feel a lot sportier. You have all your controls for, navigation, Bluetooth, cruise control and all that, and your voice commands. And then you do have this setup here with the analog controls, which I love these little switches that they have for the, the drive mode, selector, and everything, the steering, selector, electronic stability control, the hazard lights. I just love how these little dials feel and everything, and they look awesome. You got the nice little engine stop-start button there. Heated and air-conditioned seats right there. You got your volume and radio controls, and then the shifter for the 10-speed automatic that this comes with the brake here. And then come over the passenger side, you get that nice leather bolster again with the contrast stitching still. You get a really decently sized glove box with this, and they continue that leather stitching onto the dash and everything. This one does not have a sunroof, but you can get one optioned out if that's something that you want to have. Start up the vehicle, you just put your foot on the brake and push the red push start button, and that 5-liter naturally aspirated V8 will start right up, and those gauges will kind of come to life. And I mean, it sounds really nice. It's got really nice verbal to it and everything, and it's just a really nice sounding engine. You do get this nice little instrument cluster in the middle where you can scroll through all the information that you want to on the vehicle, which is really nice in my opinion. It just gives you all the information that you'd want to have on this and everything. Here's something awesome about the new Mustang. So you can see the instrument cluster with the tachometer there and the speedometer there. So if we go over here to the drive mode selector, which is just right here, you push it up, it'll give you the option normal. Put into Sport Plus, the tachometer completely changes. So it goes from being that like circular thing to, you have the tachometer that goes all the way up there, and then you flip the mode again over into track, and then the whole setup changes again. You can see that you got the revs all the way up on the top and everything right there, and it doesn't show a speed or anything like that, except for like way over here in the corner in the really small, because the revs are the most important. And then you do get the drag mode, which I think is awesome, because then it gives you like the lights and everything for doing a 0 to 60. And then you have the snow and wet mode, obviously, and then back all the way to normal mode. But I think that's something really awesome. They added those different modes and how it changes the whole digital instrument cluster in the center. And then the steering wheel, since this is the automatic, you do get the paddle shifters mounted onto the steering wheel. It is finished in this nice leather that feels really nice in your hands and everything. And overall, the interior in this car is actually really nice. And so they've come a long ways from what they used to be like. You do get the climate control in here. You do get the Bluetooth and everything through here, the navigation. It's all controlled via this touchscreen in the center, which is super easy to use. And then obviously, we put this into reverse. You get that nice backup camera with parking sensors, and then it is going to have those trajectory lines with it as well. So this is a really easy car to maneuver and everything. We are setting off in the all-new 2018 Ford Mustang, and with the GT engine, and I'm actually running to go get a little bit of gas in this quickly so we can get a little bit of a drive portion on this vehicle. But first impressions, that engine sounds absolutely amazing, and I do love the new styling of this car. I was a little bit wary of it when I saw it in pictures and everything, but you know, actually being able to see the car in person and all that, I love it. It looks absolutely amazing, and I definitely do feel the power difference on this one compared to the older model. It definitely does feel a bit more powerful. I haven't even gotten on it or anything like that, but just kind of like first going on it. And so they have definitely made quite a bit of improvements on this over the last generation that they just had. I'm just cruising along in it, and I'm actually in 9th gear at 36 miles an hour, and I'm almost at like 1,000 RPMs. And so it's super quiet. It's really easy to drive, and I imagine I'm getting, you know, really good fuel economy numbers right now, just being in that gear and just kind of like cruising around, which I think is something that's really neat to have in a vehicle like this. And that's something that I definitely really like about this. That 10-speed automatic, it's just constantly shifting through gears, and I'm honestly not even noticing when it's shifting through the gears, because it's just doing them so quickly and so smoothly and everything, which is another thing that I think is really nice about this. We have the different drive modes that I went over. We'll put it over into the Sport Plus. We're not going to use track mode or anything like that. That kind of turns off all the computers and everything, which is a lot of fun, but in just kind of like day-to-day use and everything, it's it'll be a little bit scary, because the car is a bit tail happy with rear-wheel drive and, you know, 460 horsepower. And then I can flip the steering over into the Sport. There's Comfort, and then there's Normal. I'll flip it over into the Sport, and what I'm noticing already is the steering feel is a bit heavier than compared to before, which is something that's really nice. It definitely does feel a lot tighter and everything, and so it's a lot easier to maneuver the car and everything, which is something that I really like. Okay, so we'll kind of get a little bit of an acceleration run here. You hear those gear shifts when you downshift, it just has that really mean verbal to it. And it's super quick. I mean, it just, those gears on that new 10-speed automatic, they just click right off. I mean, this thing just, it gets up and it goes very, very quickly. Literally 10th gear, and now I'm just cruising on the interstate and I'm under 2,000 RPMs. And so, I mean, I think that's just absolutely phenomenal that you can actually just do that. And it's just, like I said, it just clicks off those gears so fast. So this new 10-speed automatic that they added to this car was, I mean, it was a really good move on Ford's part. I know they co-developed it with Chevy, but it definitely fits very, very well with the new Mustang. Yeah, and I mean, those downshifts, you can just hear the engine just gives off those really, really nice little verbals. Just kind of get one more just to kind of get a full acceleration. I was actually behind someone on the first one, so now we'll be able to kind of give it the beans this time around. Absolutely phenomenal. It's an amazing sounding engine. It's got so much power. It just, and this car actually feels, I mean, it weighs about 3,700 pounds, but this car actually feels really nimble. I'm just going to be throwing it over into the normal mode again. So yeah, like I said, this car feels really nimble for how heavy it is, and so it kind of hides its weight very well, which is something that I think is absolutely amazing as well. And so, you know, like I said, props to Ford. I mean, I didn't think that they'd be able to make this. I mean, when they released this new kind of chassis with the rear independent suspension and everything back in 2015, I didn't think they're going to be able to make it better, and you know, they actually did. So overall impressions on this, if you're looking for like a muscle car slash pony car, I mean, they kind of, I mean, there's a huge argument on that nowadays. I'm not going to get into any of that, but if you are looking for a, you know, a car with a big V8 that, and you know, you don't need a four-door obviously, and you know, you want a lot of power and you want a car that sounds really good, this is definitely one of the best routes that you can go on the market right now. And so I would definitely recommend at least checking one of these out, just because they're, you know, with the speed and the handling and everything, it's definitely one of the nicest ones that are out in the market currently. And you know, these aren't nearly this isn't nearly as expensive as a lot of its competitors pull price wise and everything for how much power you're getting. I mean, you know, you can get these GTs for in the 30s and 40s range, and I mean, you're getting 460 horsepower, which is just absolutely incredible. And there you have it, the all-new 2018 Ford Mustang. Thank you everyone so much for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like. If you're stopping for the first time, please subscribe. Leave in the comment section down below what you thought overall, and then I will see all of you in that next video.